Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today we're still working on this wonderful picture by Manja Gates out of Color My Dreams 1 for our hashtag monjamarch event done by Amazon Tammy here on YouTube. And we're working on her hair today, and I have started a little bit just to get the colors out that I want to get out and make sure that everything works well together. So I'm going to actually switch it over to the close-up camera here. It's such a cute picture. And we'll be working on her hair today, as well as the flowers in her hair and down into the tree if we have enough time. And then, of course, we will do our best to get as much done as we can today, but we'll be back tomorrow and Sunday as well. Maybe not tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a live event happening, so that might not happen tomorrow, but I will continue coloring on it live here. I will not color on it otherwise. A little bit I did here was just to make sure I had the colors right. So let's get you on over to the close-up. And I've chosen a couple of different colors for her hair. So I have blackberry, mid brown, pale brown, and light sand. So those are the colors that I'm using in her hair. Now I'm not using a lot of the light sand. I'm just using it a little bit to give it its highlights. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing that I did yesterday, and I'm going to play a bit of music as we go along so that you're not listening to me breathe heavily during dead air. So if I get into a zone, at least there'll be something comfortable to watch. Alright guys, so I'm going to first of all start with the blackberry, and I'm just going to go in to where it's the darkest with the blackberry. And just go in the motion of the hair. Try not to get too swirly with it. If you just do little flicks, it will give you the effect of hair strands instead of doing the normal little swirls that I normally do to cover a large area. And I'm just going into all the really dark areas. I'm not going into those lighter areas. I'm going to use a different brown for that. And we might even put in a little bit of purple, we'll see, just to enhance that blackberry a bit. I hope everybody is having a good day and is going to enjoy today. I have several different videos coming out today with the monjamarch and the Fun Stuff Friday videos. I've got a couple of those coming out today as well. So today is a busy day. So I'm going in on the edges of the blackberry with the mid brown, and just going into those areas with a little bit of a lighter brown color to still give a bit of the shadow, but to lighten it a bit as we go into the light source areas. She's going to be a bit of a dark-haired girl. Alright, now we're going to take our pale brown We're just going to go through and cover up some of those light areas. On the crown of her head. Try to connect all the areas together. And move you over here a little bit so you can see a little bit better. There we go. And I'm trying to fill in as much of the surface area as possible, with still giving that illusion of the lines from the hair strands. Okay, now we're going to take the light sand and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going in a motion in the line of the hair. And of course we'll go back through with the darker colors and make sure that we fill that all in with anything that needs to be a little bit darker. So many layers. And now we're going to take the blackberry again and just make sure that we get those really dark shadow areas quite dark. A little bit more down here, and a little bit of the mid brown. And then, of course, a little bit more of the sand just to fill that in and blend it all together. I think that looks quite nice, just like that. Alright, so now we're going to move onto the braid here. Just got the blackberry. We're just, of course, doing the dark areas. Don't go too deep into it, otherwise you'll end up with a very, very dark braid. And you don't want that in some areas. And I'm just following what Manja has put down for shadow areas. I'm not creating any of my own. Because she has more than enough shadow areas provided. And then we're going to take our medium brown or our mid brown. We're just going to go into that light area there. And I'm just filling in a little bit of an area there that I felt was a little bit too light, or there was too much white spot showing. And then we're going to take our pale brown, we're just going to go into it and fill that all in. And we're just moving in the direction of the hair in little strokes to fill that in so that we don't lose that illusion of hair strand. Now I'm just going over it with the light tan or light sand color here just to get that sunshine coming off of her hair. Alright, let's start down here. We're just going to put in the blackberry. I think you guys have probably figured it out already. So like I said, you just follow in the hair. And the reason why I do the dark first is because I don't want to remove the strands that the artist has already put down for us. So I'm just following the strands that the artist has already put down with a darker color so that I can still follow them with the lighter colors. You have to be careful when doing this that if you have a heavier hand that you don't make it a lot darker than you want it to be, because that is very, very easy to do if you have a heavy hand. That, and it mushes your point down. actually surprised that I'm not smashing the heck out of these poor pencils. They're really soft, and I'm trying really hard to be very gentle with them, and I find every once in a while that I can feel the thunk on the paper below it, so I have to lift up a little bit. And I find that if I keep turning my pencil, I don't have to sharpen it as often. Okay, so I think that's pretty much what we want to get in with the blackberry. Now we're going to take the mid brown and just go from the end of the blackberry and bring it down. Make sure you get up into the underneath the braid area there. I find hair so relaxing sometimes. And I'm doing her hair almost the same as my own hair, so it's pretty easy to get the colors almost right. So she reminds me of me when I was little. I loved playing on the beach and swings and just being by myself away from everybody and enjoying the quiet. And I think she's just enjoying the sound of the ocean and the quiet. Okay, so like I said, I'm just filling in those areas that I want to be a little bit lighter than the dark, but not so light that you don't see the light come through. And then we're going to take our pale brown and we're just going to go from one area to the next. Try to follow your lines. Don't go back and forth or anything, just go in the direction of the hair. Took me a long time to figure that one out because I used to go in circles and it always looked so flat. It looked fine, like it was the right colors and everything else, but it just looked flat to me. And I found that it's because I didn't embrace the white. Didn't embrace the white spot so that those hair strands could show through. Okay. Now we're going to take our lighter color here. We're just going to go through. All right. Okay, so now that I've got that done, I'm going to go back through and redo my dark areas and give a second layer to everything just to polish it up. I know, why do everything twice? You know, I could put down the light first and then go over it with the dark. Absolutely, you can definitely do that. I don't want to dull out any of those dark lines that the artist has provided me with. So I do my dark first because it keeps that dark line nice and crisp. So that when I am working with it, I can follow it properly. I'm not here to change the artist's portrait or color or way the shadows and whatnot that she wants in it. I'm just here to enhance them and make them pretty. And unfortunately, I find that when I do things light first, I end up losing that bit that the artist has put in, and I don't like that because I want the artist to feel represented. Well, of course they're going to feel represented. It's their picture, but you know what I mean. Hopefully. I may just be talking through my hat at this point. Okay. Now I am going back and forth at this point with the pale brown just to fill in that and give that white line areas that I've left open some color. In these areas that are wider. In the short areas over here and down here in the curls, I'll go in the same direction because I want that lineage to be there. And then we're going to bring that all together. Now I'm just going to blend this all together with the sand. Because it's the lightest color I'm using and I don't want to use white on it. Make sure that you concentrate your heavy-handedness in your lighter areas with this pencil so that those highlights stand out. Like that. Okay, I think I've got to put a little bit more down here. There we go. Hate it when I look at a picture from afar and I can see it's not that it's dull, it's yeah, I guess it's dull. If, like, for example, up here is nice and bright, where down here was looking a little bit grayed, and that's just the overabundance of white spot that was showing through in that area that I hadn't covered with the sand yellowy color. And oh no, why did I do that? I just made a mess. Hold on a sec, where's my eraser? You ever do something that just makes you want to go, well, I just did. I gotta find my eraser. I put it somewhere, I don't know where I put it. I've got so much stuff all over my desk right now. Well, I'll use my electric eraser for now. Hopefully this will work. Can't believe I just did that. And I'll go back through it later and I'll erase more of it if I need to. I just made a big old mess. Because I didn't use my brush. I used my hand. Don't use your hand. Or you get big old messes like I just got. Okay, so we're going to do the flowers. And I've got, hopefully not do that again, but yeah. Let's see. Okay, so I have royal purple, baby blue, and electric blue. Now with these ones, because they're so small, it's not going to take a whole lot, so I'm just going in with that royal purple very, very close to the inside of the flower. And I may not use the electric blue on these ones because they are so small, but we'll see. I'm going to do it with just the purple and the baby blue for now, and then we'll adjust accordingly. And I missed an entire piece of her hair there. So let's take the blackberry here. Don't do it with your hand, dummish. Keep on telling myself, don't wipe with your hand. And then when I do, go ahead and wipe with your hand. Alright. So I'm finding that a little bit too light, so I am going to go in with the electric blue and brighten it up a little bit. These bigger flowers down below are going to be so much easier to do. It's worse when your eyesight isn't all that great and you don't see it until it's too late. So I'm just going to blend that together. And I'm blending everything together with the baby blue. You know, I could definitely use white to do this, or a blender pencil. And if I find that there's a lot of white spot, I might use a blender pencil, but I don't want to use white and dull down that baby blue color. Okay. Yeah, that's much better. Then we're going to take the yellow. We're just going to gently fill in that center of the flower. Like that. Very nice. Alright, let's get going on this branch here. And we've got all different colors for it. And actually, we're going to take a quick little break here. And I'm going to have a sip of coffee. And hopefully everybody is doing fine. I hope you're all enjoying this. I love this picture. It's just the cutest thing I have ever seen. This one and the one before it are just, they were a toss-up on which one to do. Because the one before it is the little boy with the sailboat in the pond. And it's just darling. And it will probably be the next one I do. There, that's better. Just needed a bit of coffee and wet my whistle because I was starting to lose traction. Alright, so I'm going to actually grab... I want to get something so I don't put my hand on that. So I'm going to grab... There it is. My color chart. Put it over her so that I don't rub my hand across her. And I'm using dark brown here. In just the dark areas. Try not to use too much and make your light areas too dark because this tree has a lot of dark area. So just the really, really black areas, use your dark brown. The lighter dark areas, use a lighter brown, or I'm going to actually use greens. Brown greens. To blend into this and a bit of pale brown. And of course we'll add more color as we move along it of the browns. So the next one we have here is just basic brown. We're going to do some of those lighter areas, well, the medium dark areas here, into those darker areas, this medium brown. And I'm just following the grain of the wood, the same as you would hair, and I just broke that pencil. That was a little bit too hard. It's a good thing I was at the end of the branch. I'm gonna have to sharpen that one. Alright, now we're going to use Lincoln Green. And I'm just going to fill in the darker areas of that. Like where there's still lineage. Those really, really white areas, I'm going to use the pale brown, because those are our highlighting areas. And hopefully you're still in the picture. I didn't check and see if I was covering things up. We're just moving right along this morning. We've made a mess, we've done some hair. We're going to get this tree done. Now I'm just going to go over the entire thing with this pale brown, very lightly. Make sure I've got the pale brown. And I'm probably not coloring this tree the right color, but it's the color I would have colored it. Beaches here and beaches in Australia and that sort of thing have different colored trees or different trees, so I don't know what kind of tree it is. I'm just going to color it the kind of tree that it would be where I was growing up. Try to stay close to the lines. I have found lately that I really enjoy coloring outside the lines. Alright, now we're just going to take that green again. We're going to do all the little twigs with the green-brown color. Somebody's car alarm is going off. Hopefully not mine. I think it'd be a little bit louder if it was mine, since my car's in the garage. Alright. check and make sure that it was actually coming from outside, not actually coming from my microphone or something. It does sound like it's coming from outside though, so. So I just took the light sand color and brightened up those highlight areas a little bit. I'm going back through and making sure that I've got all the leaves and stems all done up with this green brown. And it is Lincoln green. Now we're going to do the leaves. And I'm going to move you around here a little bit because I'm trying not to actually lay my hand on things because that has caused a problem. So, alright, so we've got pea green and light green. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the pea green here on these little tiny budding leaves. And I'm just trying to, because this, in my brain, and I'm not sure if this is the way that the artist saw it, but in my brain these are brand new little fresh little leaves that are just coming out in early spring on this wonderful tree. I know it's a little cold for, swinging on the beach, but I don't know what the weather's like in wherever this wonderful little girl is, so. Now I'm just going over it with the light green, and we'll add a bit more dark if we find that the leaves are just too pale. These I will blend with the blending pencil because they're tiny, and I don't want to use white and blend them right into oblivion, so I'll use the colorless blender, and that way we maintain the color we've put down and make it nice and bright. This is the least exciting part. Doing up all the little leaves. Take a look at the whole picture and decide if we need to add a little bit more darkness to the leaves. I think that's actually pretty good. Let's add a little bit more just to give it a bit more of a shadowing effect. I'm not really good at leaves. Not these little ones anyway. Now I've got a tickle in my throat. Okay. Let's see here. Alright, so there is our little darling. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I hate that. I'm going to switch on over to the main camera here so you can see her all together. And I'm not going to wipe it with my hand. I'm going to use the brush. Okay, so I think she's coming along quite nicely. Let's see, how much time do we have? We've only got about 10 minutes left, so let's do one of these flowers. And then we will call it a day for this picture. And of course, like I said, we have a whole bunch of different things coming out or coming up on Fun Stuff Friday. So I've got about 2 or 3 videos coming out for that as well. So I hope you enjoy those. Okay, so I'm going to switch back over to the close-up so that we can color this wonderful, wonderful flower here. Let's move you. There we go, so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got royal purple, and I'm just following those lines into the veins of the flower. And I'm trying to stick to the really, really dark ones. Because the medium ones, we're going to use that blue, the dark blue, or bright blue, whichever way you want to call it. And I hope you all followed the links yesterday and went and gave Emily and Tammy some love. Absolutely wonderful broadcasters and fantastic colorists. Very, very inspirational with their coloring. Alright. Like I said, I'm just following that dark. I'm not trying to get too much solid color down with this purple. Okay, so I think that's all of those areas that I wanted to get some color down. I do want to put a bit of a solid ring right here next to the center, So these areas here I am doing a bit more solid. Just try to make sure that when you do this, you don't leave a hard line, because hard lines are no fun. Just nice soft lines. Then you can gradiate it or gradually change the color into the areas you want it to be. Alright, so now we're going to take the electric blue. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go from the purple into that blue. And then we're going to tie it all together with the baby blue. So and then of course we'll go over and change anything that needs to be changed and add color where it needs to be added. And that's the joy of layering. It's taken me a long time to find that joy. I used to hate layering. It was so boring. I just wanted to get on to the next part of the page. And then I would get upset with myself because all my pages looked really flat. And it was because I didn't give it layers. I don't know why I decided that this was the color for these flowers. I just love the color combination. I don't even know if it's the proper coloring for these types of flowers. I just really like the color combination. Of course, you can color them any color that you want to color them. So. That's the great thing about coloring. You can just do whatever you want. It doesn't matter if it's realistic or if it's like I could have colored her hair purple. Nobody would have cared. I could have colored her skin green. It would have been perfectly fine. Because that was what color I wanted it to be. I've had people tell me I colored one and I did her skin blues and greens and aquatic colors because she was coming up out of a pond. And somebody said, well, you can't do that. I said, watch me. And she's gorgeous. She turned out absolutely beautifully. Alright, now I'm going over with the baby blue And I'm pressing a little hard, so be careful when you're doing that. The A, you don't break all the tips off your pencils. And B, you don't eliminate those dark colors that you just added. Now this one here, I'm also going to blend with either a blending pencil or a white, probably depending upon how well this is going to take the color. Probably with the white, just to lighten any areas that I've gone too dark in. Now normally I don't blend until I'm completely done a picture, because I like to have that availability of adding more color or whatnot, especially if I find that, because I find sometimes with really soft pencils that the color just sort of disappears and the white spot pops up. It has to be gone over a couple of times to eliminate any excess white spot that I missed. And one day to my eye it looks perfectly fine, and then a couple of hours later it looks like I've missed an entire lake of white spot. And if I blend it, I worry that that white spot's going to show up and then I'm not going to be able to fill it because I've blended it. But that's why I blend at the end. I don't blend as I go. And sometimes if your pencil is dull enough, you can just blend with your lightest color as you go. And then, as long as you don't burnish it, as long as you don't, put too much of a harsh pressure on it, you should be able to add more color later. But I find with blending pencils and white that I put too much pressure on them and end up burnishing the page. Which is fine if that's what you want to do. Okay. So we're coming up to an hour. And I want to thank you all very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed watching me color this wonderful, wonderful picture of this adorable little girl on her swing. This is hashtag monjamarch with Manja Gates Color My Dreams 2, I think. Nope, Color My Dreams Book 1. And this is the second to last page in the back of the book. So if you want to join me, of course, you'll have to watch through the videos in order to get the colors I've used, or just use your own colors. And don't forget to post on the Manja Facebook page or on my Facebook page. Of course, the links will be listed down below. And yeah, of course, we've got lots and lots of things coming out today. We've got a couple of different wonderful reviews of some colored pencils and some inks and that sort of fun stuff. Of course, it is Fun Stuff Friday, so we should have lots of that kind of fun stuff coming out. What else was I going to tell you? Of course, like I said, if you want to join us over on our Facebook group, I do have one for our channel, but there is also one for Manja Gates as well. So I will leave those in the links below. I will also leave some links to the wonderful, wonderful YouTube art, broadcaster and colorist and artist, um, Tammy, who told me about or showed me that there was such a thing going on, and all of the wonderful, wonderful pictures that she has done. So you can watch her videos as well because she's just adorable. And she is not only a colorist, but she is also a painter, and oh, the things she can do is just wonderful. But that's me gushing, so I'll stop. Of course, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon for our Fun Stuff Friday videos. Until tomorrow or later on with Fun Stuff Friday, tomorrow we will be doing the Saturday color and chat or color along with Divisa from DJ's Colorful Escape. So I really hope to see you there. Of course, today, like I said, we have some fun stuff going on for Friday. And then on Sunday, I will be back with this wonderful little darling. So I hope to see you there. And of course, I will do it as a recording. So watch it whenever you're available to. And, of course, always like, comment, and subscribe. Any of the links that are left below are affiliate links because I am an Amazon affiliate, and all of those funds go towards helping the channel out. So please make sure that you hit the link. It does help. Make sure you hit the like button. It does help as well, not only for YouTube knowing that people are enjoying my videos, but so that I can understand what y'all like and don't like that I'm doing, so I can either do more of it or less of it. Other than that, guys, thanks a lot. Bye-bye for now. Y'all have a great day.